Evan Onstad here in the KOCO5 studios. Want to bring you in right now on an update that is being given on the search for a missing 4-year-old girl out of Surreal. Little Athena Brownfield reported missing yesterday. Let's get straight to that media briefing.
Including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They're helping us out. The Comanche Nation is coming to help, as well as Fort Sill is providing some soldiers for the search operations that OHP is running with their ERTs. We've been out all day conducting those grid searches with volunteers, and we really appreciate their support along with OHP's support in managing that effort. We are collecting items that could be relevant. I'm not going to call them evidence, but we are finding things around town that could be helpful in this case. One of the questions from this morning was about the health and condition of the 5-year-old that was found yesterday. Excuse me. We can report that she did not require medical care. At the time, of course, she was frightened. That goes without saying when you're a 5-year-old. She's currently in protective custody with the state, but she did not require any sort of medical care at the time. We really appreciate all the tips that have been called in to our tip line. We encourage anybody in town, whether you're a business owner or a resident, that if you have any sort of video cameras or Ring doorbell systems, if you can come down to the church and provide that to law enforcement, it will be very beneficial. Let's see. We're still working on putting together the exact timeline, but again, I can confirm that this investigation really kicked off yesterday about 2 p.m. when the postal carrier located the 5-year-old and contacted the police department. And then we got involved later that night. And then, of course, all of our law enforcement partners have joined us, and we've been looking for her nonstop since the original call came into the police department. With that, I'm going to let Trooper Foster answer some questions about OHP resources that are out here and also address the Amber Alert.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the Oklahoma Highway Patrol was requested last night, and obviously we're here to assist. And so we brought all of the resources that are available to be able to come and assist. We've been in the air with helicopter, with infrared. We've been on the ground. Obviously, you've seen around town there are a lot of grid searches on foot going around and on 4-wheelers, things like that. And so our ERT team, which is a team specially trained to go on foot in search of people and things, are out in coordination with civilians who have come and wanted to volunteer their time and effort. And that's really a great thing to see, especially in Oklahoma. We see that all the time. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol also is utilizing boats on some of these small ponds out here to make sure that we check waterways and check those thoroughly to make sure all of that is done appropriately with sonar and things like that we can see in the water. And so the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is very much involved in just assisting whatever needs to be done that is requested from OSBI and the city of Surreal. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved. And really, I reach out and say, pray for all of those involved, not just on the law enforcement side, but there are a lot of people, there are a lot of civilians, there are a lot of resources being put into this that this is done appropriately. To answer the Amber Alert question, there have been a lot of questions on the Amber Alert. The Amber Alert has specific guidelines that we have to adhere to push out the Amber Alert specifically. The Amber Alert goes out nationwide. So once we push that button, it goes all the way to Washington, D.C. and goes out like that. So there are specific things and guidelines that we have to follow. Not every part of that guideline came into play in this. And so that wasn't done. So the next best thing that we could do was a missing and endangered notification. That went out in a 15-mile radius in around where we knew that the person was missing. And so that's why you didn't get it statewide. Those emergency alerts didn't go statewide. It went locally, and that was really the important time frame that we needed to get that out. And it was pushed on social media. All of the news outlets were able to get that immediately. And so it was done in a very efficient way by guidelines. And there are reasons for those guidelines. The Department of Justice puts out those guidelines to help us kind of put that together. And so that's kind of the answer on that. Brooke?
Yeah. I just want to conclude with a couple of things. There's a lot of talk about this investigation on social media. Obviously, we can't stop that, but it can be counterproductive to the investigation. So I would encourage people not to report or spread rumors or innuendos that they see on social media. And lastly, I think on behalf of all of us here and involved, all of the volunteers, we would like to thank the community. If you haven't been inside, there's just been an outpouring of food and water for the law enforcement and the searchers here and the volunteers that are giving their time and energy to finding her. The restaurants, the churches, the volunteers here, we really appreciate them, and obviously couldn't continue this investigation without their help. We'll take a few questions. I'm just going to be honest, guys, that's pretty much what we know at this point in time. So I don't know how many questions we'll be able to answer, but certainly you can try.
How old is Athena? We've seen 3 and we've seen 4.
We can confirm she's 4. Originally we thought she was 3, but she is 4.
Thank you.
Where are the parents right now?
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
I'm the maternal grandmother.
Okay.
My son's informed, dealing with what he needs to deal with.
Okay.
I have another question. So when was she last seen? We've seen Sunday, we've seen Friday. When was the last time she was seen?
Well, as I mentioned, we're still building that timeline, and we're working and talking to witnesses and neighbors and people in town to build out that timeline. What I can confirm to you that is not rumor or innuendo is that this investigation began at 2 o'clock yesterday when her 5-year-old sister was located by the postal carrier.
That's when we found out.
I have a question. Has today's search brought any progress? I know there's been some people saying they may have picked up the Santander railroad tracks, anything like that?
Nothing at this point that I can confirm. We're still very actively looking for her using all of our tools, thanks to OHP and our other law enforcement partners. Like I did say, we are finding things that we hope might give us clues as to where she is. We're still actively looking for her.
Is there a chance that this investigation will spread outside of this area, outside of just the city in general?
At this point in time, we're here, we're staying in town, we're looking in town, and we'll see what happens with as the investigation progresses.
Does temperature or terrain pose any kind of concern right now?
Well, you're talking about a toddler who's been on her own, so I would say yes.
Can you give a description of her and what she might have been wearing?
Description is difficult. I believe we were last told she was reporting or wearing a butterfly hoodie. She's blonde, she's 4. Her picture's on social media. I can confirm that's her if you want to share that. But that's what we've got so far.
What will the search effort look like going forward through the night?
That's an excellent question. It's obviously going to be ongoing. We're going to be here until it moves into a different phase. So I think that's pretty much all I've got. We definitely want, on behalf of all of us, to thank everybody that's out here looking and helping find her. And thank you guys for your coverage. It helps get the word out.
Oh, my arms hurt so bad.
Sorry.
All right, so you just heard from members of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol there, a spokesperson, as well as Trooper Eric Foster. 4-year-old Athena Brownfield reported missing yesterday in Cyril. A postal carrier finding Athena's 5-year-old sister, who was near their home, reported it to police. They then discovered that the 4-year-old Athena was missing. And right now, we just received some information right there. The fact that that 5-year-old is safe, healthy, we're told, in protective custody. They have been receiving tips. They want neighbors and businesses to send them surveillance video and doorbell footage that people might have. But there are a lot of questions that are still not being answered. We have our Kylie Thomas there on scene. I think, Kylie, we heard you asking some questions. And one of the big questions as we bring you in here that we don't have an answer for right now is how these girls got outside of their home. And we heard the question, where are the parents? And they're not able to give us an answer to that right now.
Yeah, that's right. Authorities are very lip-locked as far as this investigation knows. What we do know is they did conduct a search warrant on Athena's home there on the 200 block of West Nebraska Avenue, but they said that is standard procedure. And since 9 p.m. last night, authorities have been searching Cyril high and low. You saw they brought out the helicopters using infrared last night. This morning they brought in the dogs, the horses, four-wheelers, and last night hundreds of volunteers. This morning, dozens coming again on a weekday to search for 4-year-old, as we are now learning, 4-year-old Athena. Now, we have been following these search parties as they have been looking on railroad tracks and through holes in the ground, anywhere this little girl could have crawled to. Again, we don't know much information about why Athena is missing or why her 5-year-old daughter was outside their home, but we do know that her sister is safe and is in state custody. We will stay here in Cyril and bring you the very latest in this investigation. Back to you, Evan.
Well, Kylie, really quick, let me ask you a question, because it was really tough to hear watching on video and watching that news conference. But at one point when the question about the parents came up, there was another voice off camera. I thought I might have heard that it was a family member. Can you tell me who that was and what was said at that moment?
Yes, I believe that is Athena's grandmother. We had one of our reporters interview her this morning. She said that she has been here, drove down here this morning, and is not going to leave until Athena is found. We believe it is Athena's father's mother who was here. She has been here all day asking questions, and said that she is not going to leave until she has some answers into where Athena went.
I'll tell you what, your heart really goes out to her, that grandmother, and everybody out there who's joined in on this search effort. Obviously, a 4-year-old little girl. The temperatures are warmer than normal for January, which is a good thing, but obviously it is a really scary situation. We're going to be following this story with the help of Kylie there in Cyril, as well as our team coverage right here on KOCO 5. But again, Athena Brownfield, 4 years old, blonde, adorable little girl, last seen, they believe, in a butterfly hoodie. We're going to keep up on this story. You can follow us on KOCO.com, as well as the KOCO app. And if you live in Cyril, and if you have any sort of security camera, doorbell camera, police want to see that footage just so they can put it all together and see who was moving around the town at that time. Again, reported missing yesterday.